Hello guys, UnoPro back here for another Vanar S-Rank gameplay video. So, as some of you may know, Vanar's not my most played class. I'd probably, put it fourth behind Songhai, Vitruvian, and Liner. I have a little bit of experience on another account, but we'll do our best. I've played a few games with this deck. So this is Colossus the Dragon's mid-range deck that was on his guide on the forums, and I thought I'd try it out. I've been really working hard on trying to find a really good Songhai list at the moment, so I haven't really been testing out my own decks too much. As you might have noticed, the videos that haven't been Songhai have mainly been other people's decks, but there's nothing wrong with that. And I definitely someone who prefers the method of playing someone else's deck and then eventually making tweaks to it myself. So let's just go with the deck. The two Snow Chasers, still a little bit iffy on those. They can be really good, they can be a little bit awkward. Three Dream Gazers, not all lists running them. And then our Dancing Blades, Jack's True Sight for late game. And the Razorbacks, plus a couple Marcus Solitudes. Nothing too crazy there, pretty standard tempo mid-range Vanar. So let's get into the game. So about Vanar, I guess if I'm listening to the announcer, it's Vanar, but I always say Vanar, so bear with me if you don't like that. But it feels really matchup dependent. It's definitely a meta call, because sometimes you verse Vitruvian is really good for you because you can remove all their third wish targets, and then sometimes you verse say Songhai. Songhai is definitely the worst one. And they can you don't really have any in-faction healing. It's still winnable, but it's definitely a coin flip. You have to kind of guess the meta and what you're going to be versing, which I don't really like. It's not something I like playing, but I want to give you guys an idea of different decks, and Vanar is definitely a strong deck, so I can actually go for the let's get rid of the Mark Solitude. Alright, so I can go for an early Emerald Rejuvenator. That seems pretty decent. I wonder why he's playing out here. Maybe he does have a Marcus Solitude. I mean, what was it called? It's Marcus Solitude, right? Yeah, as you can see, I'm not too familiar with Vanar. So let's move it here. Do we want to play around it? We could just put it here. But then he can get both mana tiles. I think it would be overthinking it a little bit too much if we did that. I can't really justify that to myself. It might be what's happening, but and this kind of thing is fine. Alright, so we might actually get a Dancing Blades target. Okay, never mind. That's what I was hoping for. How can we use the mana tiles effectively? What should we get rid of? Let's get rid of the Razorback. It's a bit early for that. Alright, so we can just Chromatic Cold, hit this, and play Jaxi, I guess. That's weak at a Chromatic Cold, but I don't think we're in a desperate need for a minion. Yeah, we need to block him alone from the mana tile. I was thinking about putting it here, so that he can't, trade in with this and have a 50-50 chance of killing the Jaxi. Oh no, his general's up one step. Okay, I was overthinking. I was thinking first turn. Anyway, okay spot. He might Chromatic Cold and play another minion, which could be really bad for us. Because he can definitely have the tempo, but we do have the Dancing Blades next turn. It can be a little bit risky to play Dancing Blades though, because we will definitely have 6 cards in hand, which means that a Hailstone Prison will instantly kill it. It might be worth it. It'll probably depend on what we can kill with the Dancing Blades if we'll do it. Otherwise, we might have the option of playing, 3 2-drops, freeing up our hand a little bit. And this is what you want. You want 5 out of 6 cards is often what you want against Vanar if you're going to be developing, the bigger threats. Okay, so he's got a Chromatic Cold. Let's see what he does next. So he's going to take all the mana tiles. That's a bit annoying. Interesting. Okay, that was a little bit strange. Alright, let's get rid of the Healing Mystic. Actually, we don't want Hailstones. Hailstones aren't that good in this matchup. So we can hit it. Like, we can clear the board, but then we're weak to a Hailstone Prison. If we go here, we're a bit weak to a Primus Fist here trading in, but that's not the end of the world. Or we can go here, play 2 True Drops, and then Chromatic Cold. That's not worth it. Yeah, let's just do this. There's not. We probably want to get him on our side of the board because we are running the Snow Chasers, I guess. So we'll do it this way. Alright. A little bit awkward that turn, but not the end of the world. We're still at the tempo. Hopefully he doesn't play a Jax True Sight. If he does, I mean, the Jax True Sight could potentially decide the game next turn. We're in an okay position to deal with it. Not really. We can kill 2 at least, but playing our own first would be huge. But I don't like the fact that he's walking back here. Don't play Jax. That's the worst thing that could happen. That's a Jax. That is definitely a Jax. Right. Maybe not. It's gotta be a Jax, right? Yeah. Alright, oh, and the Flash Freeze, okay. Alright, so this can kinda just happen in Vanar mirrors. It's just one player plays Jax and that's game over. It can be very, very hard to deal with. We could just go face, but I don't think we can really do that. Alright, let's try and deal with it the best we can. Let's think about this. I think just this, hit here, and we'll Chromatic Cold the one that's hardest to deal with. So we're at a comfortable enough life total that Razorback isn't going to just win the game for him, and he can't play 2 Razorbacks in the one turn. So if we can clean up most of them and play our own Jaxi, we could come back into this game. Versing a good player who plays Jaxi on 6 in the Vanar matchup is always going to be hard. And Smash Things is definitely a pretty good player. He has a lot of banners in his S rank, and I think I've versed him before. Hopefully he doesn't have a Chromatic Cold. If he has Chromatic Cold, it'll be really hard to deal with, but otherwise it's not too bad. I really hope this is not another Jax. She's moving out of the corner. Okay, it looks like a Primus Fist. Okay. Wonder, is he going face? Oh no. Okay. Well, we can get, quite a few Jaxi spawns at least, so we can deal with quite a few of them. Well, yeah, we get most. We can get all of them actually. So Jaxi, ping this one, play Jaxi. It's not the best Jaxi, but it's the best hope we have of a comeback. And there was nothing we could have done to stop him really playing Jaxi, because he didn't, use it with a mana tile. He just played it on turn 6. He is a little bit low on the lower side of things, which is something. And if there's a card that's good for coming back on board, we got Dancing Blades is definitely that card. Annoying. Ooh, that's a bit annoying. Alright, we're more in it than we should be, I guess. Chromatic Cold. Okay. Interesting potion to position this here. I think he changed his mind. No. We do have to play Dream Gears, I think. Should I trade first? I don't actually want it over here. Yeah. We don't have a good way that protects us from Saber Spine and gets us in front of the thing, which is what I'm a bit sad about. Alright, we'll just have to be a man about it. We really need the thing to spawn up here. We're gonna be so low right now. 5. We're not dead to Razorback. And we do have an Emerald in hand, so I'm gonna be pretty stoked if this ends up being a comeback. But I'm not gonna get ahead of myself and assume that's happening anytime soon. Either way, I think it's been a pretty good game. Can't believe this Jax card used to cost only 5 mana though. That would have been pretty cool. I wasn't around when it was 5 mana though. But I don't know how far that was in, because there was some really ridiculous cards way back in alpha, so you can't. I don't know when the nerf actually happened. So we can answer that nicely, actually. The fact that he... Yeah, that's fine, actually. We're doing alright here now. starting to come back. The comeback is real, guys. Alright, let's get rid of this. Nice, I like that. So, Dancing Blades, oh, we can't Hailstone Prison that because it's the original one. Ugh, which sucks. So we're definitely Dancing Blades, and we might as well Emerald Rejuvenator, I suppose. We're not really at risk of dying. I guess we could develop our board more. Yeah, let's actually do that. We could do it. Yeah. I don't want to give this immediate value. Well, just a Healing Mystic. Nah, let's do it. Yeah, we can do it here, I guess. It's gonna be a very long way away from this thing, so I don't think it really matters too much. Yeah, I want to be a little bit closer. Like, I could technically go here and I would maybe get away from a rush minion. No, I wouldn't get away from a rush minion. Plus, he would already have like another one anyway. So, but we are in decent shape right now. And next turn, I could actually Hailstone and then play Jax Trusa, and then him having a Jax in hand is not as big a deal. Definitely a very interesting game. I don't mind the Vanar mirror actually. Some mirrors matches are really stupid. Like Lionar's a bit stupid because it's just all about Arclight Regalia sometimes. Oh, okay. That's not good news. That's exactly what I wanted to play, Jax, man. Come on. Alright. Jeez. We're gonna kill all the Jaxes we can. And I think we should just play our own Jaxie. Like, our 3 will answer his 3 at worst. If he has Razorback, we're just done for. I guess I could 1 to hand, survives Razorback. Yeah, we have to do it. It's a little bit awkward, but that was a big mistake. I could have got an extra Jaxie. That was pretty dumb of me. That is why you plan out your turns in advance, guys. Yeah, that's just giving up a free Jax right there. It's been a long game. It's been going for 20 minutes, so I can it might be getting a little bit boring, but yeah, still got to take my time, plan out all my moves. But if we don't die this turn, we're in okay shape actually. Oh, really regretting not Hailstoning first. That's just a silly mistake. Not another one, or Saber Spine. Oh my goodness, are you serious? Ah, well. Well played. Alright. Very interesting game. I think I played it decently well, except for that last turn. And definitely a fun game, so, you know, no regrets there. That first Jaxie was, you know, the first Jax is always so hard to deal with. Especially because I was not in a position to kill them well at all. What, I killed like 1, I think? Alright, Abyssian. Another deck I'm not too sure if I like the matchup. This is assuming that's a burn Abyssian. Vanar, you know, really does lack good defensive options as a class. And they can kind of just get burned out. It's the same for the same reasons we're bad against Songhai. we're probably bad against Burn Abyssian. Can I play all three? No. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Alright, that's a pretty good start though. Grasp of Agony would really wreck me, you know, well, a decent amount. You still got that Jaxi spawn. Rest of her hand's not great. But you know, playing 4 minions on turn 1, I'm not in a position to complain whatsoever. That's a pretty good start. Okay, so Sarlacc. So it's not a Burn Abyssian, which is good news for me. Gonna get rid of Hailstone, I think. Oh, that is annoying. I'm actually gonna just take the hit from this. It's a bit of a really bad spawn for me. So, I wanted to be able to move everything up. Let's block him going to Mantle. It doesn't matter if this dies. Alright, so, you know, we had an awesome first start. Unfortunately, we got the second Dancing Blades, so that was a bit unfortunate. But we still got a nice tempo lead here. Grasp of Agony. Please no grass as well. Don't do it to me. He might not be running Grasp of Agony though, depending on... I don't think some of the more controlling builds run it, but I'm not certain on that. You don't see a lot of Abyssian around these days. And I think that's just because of... like, it's actually not bad, it's pretty good against Songhai. Pretty good against Vanar. I think it's just Vitruvian keeping it down. Alright, so neither of us really have a lot going on at this point, I think. I can afford to replace this. Alright, unfortunately, no Jax. So let's just do this. Oof. I don't really want to hit it with my face, so I'll trade this in. We'll trade this in and we'll play this here. Keep him on his own side of the board. Alright. Reaper of the Nine Moons. Okay. So we can kill it. We could just freeze it. I don't mind freezing it actually. Yeah, let's just freeze it. If we're using this card, we might as well take advantage of the fact that it actually does stun. Oh, I probably should have attacked. I think I forgot to. Did I? It's really confusing with these new animations. I think I did. Because, you know, it lights up your general again. Oof. Alright, good thing we have the Hailstone. Let's get rid of this. We can keep it. Let's get rid of this. Okay. So if we're spending our mana efficiently, we can
We could ignore this. Part of me wants to ignore it. And we could play Fenrir, Hailstone, Primus. Okay, we're definitely Hailstone, 110%. So do we kill the dancing? I don't think I want to kill it, because you can't, really answer what it is unless it's something bad. We don't have a lot of good targets, so I'm not too worried. So we want to play these two, I think. So what's the best positioning, best way to do this? Alright. Alright. Okay. We'll take the damage on this. Yeah. This way is better because it doesn't give him healing from thing, but I don't get to attack with it this turn, which I'm not sure it's a huge deal though. I could be wrong. It might be better just. Well, let's think about it. Nah, I definitely prefer the way I did it. Because it's only doing 1 damage in that situation. Whereas it eventually will probably do 3 damage now. Alright. We don't really have, that much good stuff here, so. Does that take it out of the deck? Because that's our only Alcuin. It's not there to read. I think it just says play a minion from your opponent's deck, though, so. That's a really nice combo though, like getting Sarlax back is pretty good. And you have a very high chance of getting them. Because I'm 99% sure that each one counts as an individual thing. Okay, do we have lethal? Yes. Quite evil. Alright, so good to get a win there. I would definitely say that Vanar's probably favoured against this kind of Abyssian. Where, you have the answers to Sarlax if you need them. You can Hailstone the big ones. Chromatic Cold is just very, very good against that deck. Plus, we got a really nice start. So we will play one more. The first game went for quite a long time, but we'll try and fit one more in. I think 3 is a good number, at the minimum. Hopefully, we can get another win. And maybe see the Vitruvian matchup, because while I think Vanar is probably favoured, sometimes Vitruvian can just be Vitruvian and still do pretty well. And that's from my personal experience as Vitruvian. And I think that's more just from it being the best deck in the game at the moment, rather than it having some really good thing in the matchup. Not the best hand. Nothing like last game. Okay. So, we need Chromatic Cold. That's the plan at this point. It's never too fun versus mech decks. I'm gonna play this here so it doesn't get value and trade in. I don't really like versus mech decks too much, but because it is a little bit luck based. In do you draw your answer to Mechazor? Do they draw enough mechs quickly? Because a lot of the time the deck just kills itself. It's its own worst enemy when you don't draw any mechs till turn 5, and now you have these useless vanilla minions that don't really do anything. Well, I mean, they're not vanilla, but they're just they're bad stats for what they do. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the jacks. And we'll get rid of this hand. It can be a bit dangerous, especially considering that all of the mechs have opening gambit. I don't think I want to attack. I mean, there's a there's a good chance we can rush him down before he gets Mechazor, but I think we have late game inevitability, so we don't really need to rush him down. We can beat him just with a Chromatic Cold on Mechazor, and then it's just better to play safe before we know what he has, you know. If you're in a better board position, then it's always a lot easier to attack with your general. And I think that's a big skill in the game that a lot of people, you know, stuff up, is, you know, when to trade with the general. And it's not always just, you know, oh, I'm a Songhai, I'm versing, say, a Magma or something. There's definitely a bit more that goes into it. Alright, so we can just trade in here. Can't kill Dream Gazer and do it and pay this. So let's get rid of this. They're really good though. Yeah, let's just do that. And I'm gonna leave this hand. I like this hand very much. I'm gonna start attacking. Reason I moved down here, just no need to give him the option of attacking here. I don't really mind my general being here in this matchup. So there's no point giving him an opportunity, you know, get a useless Boundless Courage out of his hand or something. So he's only got one mech so far. Okay, nice positioning by Innocent Wish playing around Dancing Blades. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but either way it worked out pretty well for him. So we definitely don't want to deal with this with the Chromatic Cold if it's our only Chromatic Cold. So what will our play be here though? I did want to Flash Freeze this, but you know, it's also good on Jaxi. I think it might be okay to use it. Let's get rid of this. Well, yeah, Dancing Blades might be our option that's the least awkward at times. So let's come here, let's hit face. We know we're doing these things. How do I lose this? The way I lose this game, I think, is if I use Chromatic Cold and don't draw another one and then die. So let's freeze this. No need to take risks. And let's play the 2 minions here. Once we get another one, of course we can, you know, start using Chromatic Cold, but that's the only real way we can. Well, obviously we can still lose. This game is definitely not 100%. He can still fight for ball control, but I think that's, you know, a pretty big risk that I'm not willing to take. A little bit annoying. The temptation to use the Chromatic Cold is growing. Dance with Blades. So we could do like some kind of answer to this. We can clear the board so efficiently with Chromatic Cold. He's only got 2 parts. You know, he's got to start drawing them eventually, right? Alright, let's get rid of the Razorback. Alright, we'll do this. I'll just ignore it. Oh, that's a lot of damage, but that's a lot of damage from like a Razorback. Alright, I'll give in. I tried to be disciplined, guys, I really did. I really wanted to save that. But we, we're getting through our deck, we should eventually find one. There we go. Alright, so, the last 5 minutes I've spent debating whether I should use Chromatic Cold. Playing, really safe. Because you always want to... I know I'm rambling on a ton about this Chromatic Cold, right? But you always want to be playing... You want to consider how you can lose. And I think, Chromatic Cold was the way I could have lost. That's really good value for him. Might give it a Jaxi. Marcosology can actually be used to trade in here, because we don't lose the buff. We don't lose the Dying Wish, sorry. Let's get rid of it. Wanted something definitely higher impact than that. We do need to try and keep his ward, semi-clear. He's got a lot of cards in hand. I'm gonna actually attack. Because it's less that we... He just hasn't really been playing anything. He's been playing higher threats while we've drawn a lot of our lower drops. So he's naturally having more cards in hand. Man, this is the kind of draws I need. Like, I need to be able to draw more proactive cards. Like, I mean, I drew the Dancing Blades, but oh, that's not good. Maybe we should just go for the Chromatic Cold play, but it didn't actually really hinder us that much, so... Like, all it was really saving us was face damage. And our health is definitely not the problem in this game. The Twilight Sorcerers are doing a ton of work for her, I think. I mean, you kind of gotta, like... When you verse a mech deck, you kind of gotta work on the assumption that they shouldn't be able to keep up to you because they'll be having mechs. So without mech as well, they shouldn't be equal, but he's had, the really strong minions that he can keep up anyway. So I think that's really been the problem here. Alright, so this has been a little bit frustrating, this one. Just, like, he hasn't really drawn like a mech deck. Which is, a little bit annoying. Because you kind of want them to draw a little bit like a mech deck, But oh well. I'm sure there's definitely some stuff I could have played a bit differently. And you know, it's not over yet, technically. Unless he has Razorback. Which he probably does. Alright guys, I think this one's pretty much just over. Yeah, there's literally nothing I can draw, so I'll stop wasting everyone's time. We'll call that a game. Alright, so a little bit disappointed in that last game. I'm not too sure what I could have done differently, like game plan wise. I don't think, you know, trying to save a chromatic cold was the downfall in that game. Yeah, I'm sure there's something. Let me know if you guys had any idea, you know, what you think I could have done to win that game, if you want to. So thanks for watching, guys. Shout out to Collis for, you know, providing his deck on his tier list. Really good, you know, link for different types of decks. I really kind of just like this fairly standard Vanar mid-range. It is something I don't like about Duelist at the moment is just how many neutrals are in every deck. Like, look at this. Dreamgazer, Healing Mystic, Jaxi, Primus Fist. Those ones are in a ton of decks. Alcuin's in a ton. Rejuvenated's in nearly all of them. Dancing Blades and True Sight. It's just the early turns, you know, are a bit too repetitive. No matter who you verse. But I'm sure that's something that will come with expansions and new cards. But the problem is currently they're only releasing neutral cards. But once we get an expansion, I'm sure it'll be a lot better. Anyway, guys, I rambled on for a little bit there. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. If you have any feedback or any ideas, let me know. And I'll see you next time.